you fish?
No.
You know, people who don't fish think that fishing is lazy or boring, but it is the complete opposite. There are 100 little decisions to be made, variables to be considered, and you're never quite sure what made the difference. Did I cast too high, too far to the left? Did I reel it in too slow or too fast? Is the lure too shiny or too dull? Do I stay here or should I go over there? And you know it's not luck, but you do not know by how much. Because I am never disappointed out here, because I don't expect anything, because anything is possible. I can be hopeful out here, even in failure. Because I know if I just go out there around that tree, it might be different. Something might be different. Something I do might make a difference.
A sniper's dream, 100 nights of memory. He has before head, and after head goes race vertical. No matter who he races, he gonna have a head start. Frontal lobe, frontal globe. Remembers what happened to Mom. His father stands on the second floor. Why can you still see his forehead with the comments open? Shut his eyes. He got a lot on his mind. He's been told to hold that thought all his life. No sweat tries before it reaches his eyes. He needs bangs. Those imaginations in 4K Ultra HD. If you drew an H on his forehead, Bobby would survive. His forehead says 6'5", but his eyes say 5'9". The most epic heroic song of all time. Bro's forehead has a national anthem. Bro knew this would happen.
Hell yeah! Angler's Choice, baby! John Morris! White River! Ranger! Triton! Nitro! Let's go, baby! Woo!
What the hell is even that?
You're listening to Fishing the DMV with your host, Thomas Ahrens. Fishing the DMV is brought to you by Jake's Bait and Tackle, located in Winchester, Virginia.
If that doesn't get you jacked up, I don't know what will.
Good evening on this fantastic hollow Christmas Eve. How is everybody doing tonight? So it's just me today, guys. I wanted to bestow it upon you just something to listen to. You know, some people don't get Christmas Eve off. Some people are probably driving to head out to be with family and friends on this great day. But today I'm just here with you guys, hanging out for a little bit, talking. We had a 3-hour stream last night. Absolutely incredibly fun. The call-in number is 667-307-8583 if you want to hang out while you guys are getting ready for the Christmas festivities. But so how's everybody doing tonight? If I could get a mic check or somebody, just let me know if the mic is on. That'd be great. But today's plan is pretty straightforward. What we're going to be doing is shooting the shit and going over the list that we made yesterday. That was a absolute blast with the tier list, dude. Absolute blast. I knew when I was doing this thing and I was creating it, we were gonna piss some people off. We weren't gonna make everybody happy. Some people were gonna be a little upset with how the list went down. And so I just kind of wanted to revisit some of the hotter topics from that night, because as it went on to 3 hours, God bless the Bass and Beer radio group for staying that long. I know when I do content and podcasts, I don't mind. Maybe it's because deep down what I should have been was a radio host. I don't mind sitting with you guys for 5 to 10 hours straight. And so I'm kind of glad that they were able to come with me and make this thing a reality. So we had category wise, what we had was legends. Then we had B, C, and dog shit. That was the OG list. And so I just want to kind of go through that with everyone today, what we did, and then the adjustments that we're going to be making right here with part 2. For people that would like to know about the Patreon members only fishing tournament, the last day of the competition is December 28th at midnight. Somebody asked me, does that mean you can fish till midnight? It's like, dude, if you want to fish till midnight on December 28th for smallmouth, and largemouth, God be with you. But anyway, that's when the tournament will end. I reopened up the leaderboard so everyone can see that. I will shut that down on Friday. So the last day, there's a little bit of suspense there. But that way, people that think they're kind of in the running for an award will have an idea if they want to come to Jake's Bait and Tackle. How that's going to work is from 1 to, I think it's 1 o'clock start time, but I'll double check that. We'll be having our award ceremony. If you're a Patreon member, I just sent an alert out on Patreon and us in our private Facebook group when the award ceremony is on that Sunday. And you can come up and pick up your award. We have these really, really cool plaques that we're going to be giving out amongst other things as well. If you can't make it, no worries. I can mail it to you. I'm just going to have to get around to it. So there is that. But like money and stuff will be instantaneous because I can just Venmo and PayPal that to you. So that shouldn't be a problem at all. So anyway, with that said, let us kind of get into it here. All right, we got Instagram up and running. Fantastic. Let me hit the old share button. Let's go entire screen. Perfect. Go the old black background. So basically what we had last night after that fantastic event, Tidal Potomac, Upper Bay, Smith Mountain Lake in the legendary category, the Tidal James River, the Chowan River, the Susquehanna River, the New River, Lake Mooney in Fredericksburg. Then we had Occoquan Reservoir, and then the Chickahominy River. Pretty sure we'd be fine with how that turned out. Now let's go to the next two categories. These are the categories that are kind of catchy. B, we had Lake Coon in Norfolk, Virginia. We have Hyco Lake, which is a power generated lake on the North Carolina-Virginia border. We have Western Branch, Norfolk. We have Loch Raven, the Juniata, Lake Gaston, Liberty Reservoir, Mayo Lake in North Carolina, Lake Moomaw, Conowingo Reservoir, the Tidal Rappahannock, the Chickahominy River, Lake Anna. Then we had Burnt Mills, Norfolk, Virginia, Upper Potomac River, Lake Chesdon, Hunting Run, and Roanoke Rapids. In the C category, Philpott was at the dog shit category, but it got bumped up because there was enough fan favorite and people just saying like, listen, this is a travesty. This is a war against humanity. It's actually dog shit. It's actually a really, really good reservoir. Please, dear God, please change it up. So that's what we did. And we moved that up. Then we got Pocomoke, MD. We have Raystown, Pretty Boy, Upper Rappahannock River, Leesville, Virginia, Nye Reservoir, Shenandoah River, Lake Frederick, Upper James, South Holston, Deep Creek Lake, Bugs Island, York River, Yakagani Lake, Clater, and so that's for C. And then for the dog shit section, we had Clater Lake, Burke Lake, Eastern Shore, and Big Slack. That's kind of what we had going right there. So there was a lot of contention between B and C category, which to me, of course, like that's where I thought the contention would be. Although there was a lot of contention with the Tidal Potomac River. And what I realized is I didn't have enough slots. I kind of realized this halfway through the show where it's like you can't just do legendary B, C, and then D. You need a couple more categories for these really fringe fisheries. So that's what we're going to be doing today and taking your calls about stuff. Because there were so many comments on Instagram and Facebook about how this was done and things we have to change. So what I added here was a category, B minus. Okay. I think this will really help flesh things out and move some things around a little bit more. And so let's just get right into it. And then if you guys want to call in and chat about anything in particular, the number is 667-307-8583. I am just here to entertain you guys on Christmas as you guys get ready for the holiday season. So let me see. What was the first one that was an issue? The Juniata River. Juniata River was an interesting one. And again, guys, it was like a 3-hour show. It was hard to get through everything. We got Brian Carter, top 25 angler in VA list coming out before Richmond Expo. If I did that, are you asking me to do that? Because I feel like that would just get me in so much hot water. If I just tried to rate anglers, Brian, that would feel like that would be a shit show if I did that. But no, basscastradio.com. Go check that out, guys. What was I getting at? Juniata. Rated it a B because based on the conversations we had and people online, it was like, is it legendary status with the Susquehanna River, or is it a tick below? This is where I think that A category is needed, because I don't know, based on the people that we had voting on everything, if it was actually legendary status. So with this new wing, I'm going to move that to A, because the Juniata is definitely a amazing fishery that I don't think is quite necessarily B status. And then we come on down here, we can go to, what's another one that I could really say? Oh, I know something we can move right here though. Roanoke Rapids and all these Norfolk lakes. I would probably say, well, let's go with the A. So what would be an A fishery? Like, it's strong, but it's not legendary. I'm going to definitely put like the tidal Rappahannock. I think it doesn't get a lot of fishing pressure. And just from the fun category of being able to frog fish, I think that's something that would be really, really cool there. So this is the adjusted thing I would do. And again, this is my personal opinion, things that I really want to do a little bit differently on the old listy list. So Juniata is going to be moved to the A tier. The tidal Rappahannock River is going to be moved to the A tier. Conowingo, I'm going to put in the B- tier. And then Lake Anna, I'm going to put at A tier. Just because, again, even though we're dealing with boat traffic and stuff, it's the size of the fish that you're catching. They're getting close to dirty 30-pound bags. It's the gem of Virginia. Then let's go with, let me see something else here. Here's another thing that I would change, honestly. The Shenandoah and the James. I know this was weird, but this is, again, where we didn't have enough levels to kind of do this thing properly. Should the Shenandoah be C? No, it shouldn't be C. And I think it was really because of the Shenandoah, the Upper Potomac. And honestly, it was, where the hell is it? Deep Creek Lake. Deep Creek Lake being on the same thing as Philpott's weird. When the weights are better, there's a fun factor, I think, to me with Deep Creek, where you can go there as a novice and go fishing and catch something. And there's a lot of lakes around the country, like Big Slack. You need to have a little bit of knowledge. You need to have a lot of knowledge of Big Slack to have consistent success there. You know, it's a tough fishery. They're there, but it's still a tough fishery. So I would say, with all this talking, what am I going to do? I'm going to move the Shenandoah River and the Upper James into B category right now, for sure. And I'm probably going to move... Let's hold it right there. What else would be B-? Probably Lake Moomaw. I'm going to go Lake Moomaw. I'm going to drop it down there. The scenery is pretty good. The fish catching can be tough a lot of the times a year, but there are some good ones in there. And that thing can get hit with boat pressure pretty bad. So we'll go with that. Lake Frederick is an interesting one to me. Again, like McCluskey made some interesting points last night that Ace, SB's brother, has done extremely well. There's some big fish, but it is tough as shit. And again, like in my part, it's like there's a fun factor. And again, you need scope. If you don't have scope, like that lake's going to suck. It's definitely an open water place like Mooney. So I'll probably move that one up to a B-. Pretty boy. I think a lot of the C's, though, are about right. I think that's actually probably right. I'm going to put Hyco, to me, being a nuclear-powered lake, a warm water discharge lake. I kind of like that because it gives you the ability to have... Ooh, here we go. Brandon Huff, move Clear Lake to C. There was multiple 26-pound bags this spring. I know it's a bad rap, but you have to have some local knowledge to catch bigger fish. Yeah, and that's the thing, is like local knowledge is a part of the pie here with it. The problem is, Brandon, we literally had like 15 people in the chat, people call in, and the board unanimously vote Clear Lake as the bottom tier. But you can make me an argument there that we could probably make that, we could pivot back to that. Pocomoke, we're going to keep at C. Upper Rappahannock, we're going to keep at C. Nye, we're going to keep at C. Raystown, because of all the politics around it, we're going to keep it C, because that kind of makes sense, because like Raystown, there's some really good fishing in there. The problem is with a place like that, yeah, you just can't tournament fish. There's really few boat ramps, things like that, that will make that a problem. I think what's really going to be the difference here is separating out this B category. Liberty, Loch Raven, the biggest issue with a lot of these places, and Pretty Boy, is access. Like, the access to get in there is such a freaking nightmare. It kind of knocks them down a peg from getting to A tier. Based on what they said yesterday, Liberty needs to go down to B. I'm pretty sure this is what they said. Liberty goes down to a B, and then based on these lakes here, Mayo is going to go down to a B minus. It's an okay reservoir, but it's not necessarily going to be like setting the world on fire. It's solid. What the heck is this? Stupid pop-up ads. Now, Mayo is going to stay up here. And the reason Heiko is a solid B to me is it's warm water generated. So in theory, you could go there in the wintertime. You're going to have an earlier spawn bite. There's something cool about having nuclear powered lakes around this area, in my opinion. So we're going to keep Heiko right there. Loch Raven is going to stay. I believe based on the conversations yesterday, if I'm right, Loch Raven was the better one of the three up there. And then we have all of these really Norfolk lakes, which is where you're going to need like a Chad or somebody else to kind of talk on this. But I do remember from what Chad said, not all of these are the best. And so Burnt Mills was, I believe, based on what they said, that would be more like a B minus type of lake. And then we have, where is it? I think it's this one here. Oop. Yeah, this one here would be, B minus, and then Hunting Run would be a B minus. And the reason I'm going to do Hunting Run as a B minus is just because of the access. Access is going to really drop that down to a B minus category, where at Liberty and Loch Raven, in theory, if you have a boat that can go there, you can just go fishing there, no issue, year round. Hunting Run is shut down for a part of the year, like you just can't fish it. So that's going to really hurt old Hunting Run in this new calculation. So I'm kind of happy with where B is right now. Now let's look at A tier list category. A is interesting. So Lake Anna definitely I feel like is a strong A. It's not legendary, but it's an A. Boat pressure has an effect on that too. We're getting close to dirty 30-pound bags. So yeah, I probably keep that as an A. The Juniata, probably a strong A. Potentially you could probably move that to legendary. I'm just gonna need way more people to vote on that for having me move that bad boy up. Now, Deep Creek Lake. I am going to move that up to a C minus, or a B minus, I'm sorry. It does get pressured to hell from Memorial Day to Labor Day weekend. Pressured to hell, so many boats. But that fall bite there is amazing. The spring bite there is amazing. So I'm going to move that one up to a B minus. Youghiogheny has to stay at like at a C because it's like there's no water in it, and we're judging this based on 2024 standings and how it did. And Youghiogheny like no damn water in the lake, so I should honestly delete it from the list. But I want to show that like we didn't forget about Youghiogheny, so it's here. But that's about it. I feel a lot better about this though. This is the interesting thing here is I have Bugs Island as C, and I have Gaston right now. Gaston I have right now as a B, just because everyone I've talked to, Chad and everything, it's fishing extremely good. Gaston's fishing the best it's ever had, and I don't think Bugs Island Kerr is not quite there yet, so I'm going to still keep that as a strong C, in my opinion. So let's scroll up. I believe in all these. The York River, actually, I could make a B minus, because there's some mega bags coming out of there. There's not a lot of fishing pressure, which is a big one in 2024, that not a lot of people fish it. Therefore, if you go there, you're going to have a lot of fun. That's what really helped the Rappahannock River getting it up to like an A size fishery. It's just no one fishes it. So you're going to have a lot of fun when you get out there. Philpott is going to stay. Philpott, the fans of Philpott brought that place back. It was at the dog shit level, and there was enough people that voted that it was a fun place to fish just to bring it up to like at least a C tier. So we did that. Pocomoke, I mean, Bass and Beer guys, Paul really liked the Pocomoke, and I'm going to leave it there for Paul, old Paulie boy, just to do it for him. Eastern Shore is going to stay dog shit. Everyone unanimously said that place is tough. Burke Lake, like I saw all the comments about Burke Lake, but I'm telling you, I had like 30 people in the comment section and call in and say Burke Lake just in general is not very good. It is not fun to fish. So that has to stay there at the dog shit area. Big Slack, it's my home body of water. I just won a bunch of money in a trophy there. And I'm going to say it sucks. It's not you're going to catch a shit ton of 11.5 inchers, but to do it, you kind of need, you don't need the scope. That's not true, because the people that won it the last years didn't have scope. It's just not where I could say like, ooh, yeah, I'm traveling great distances to go fish big slack. No, you're not. So right now that is probably, I mean, we could also like the dog shit category could get massive, because what we do is add a bunch of like a Lake Orange. Oh God, what's that other small lake? Georgetown Reservoir. There's a bunch of littler ponds and lakes you could add to the dog bleep category, but is that the point of it? No, I think it's like taking the bigger lakes and trying to flesh those out. Now, this to me is what's going to be interesting. Leesville, I definitely think is a strong C, because the fishing, apparently there are some big ones in there, but I could actually probably move Leesville down to dog shit if people were so inclined. Now, the A category is interesting, because I feel like, here's something here. Is there anything in the legendary category that should be knocked down a peg? Should the title James? Aaron, that place must have gotten better since I was a kid, because when we fished high school derbies there, it was just beat to hell. So maybe it's on the uptick. I think what's funnier is right now in this thing, and maybe this is what I'll do for like the Richmond Fishing Expo. I'll bring this list back and I'll just spend one whole day just talking about this to piss people off there in the comment section. Oh, we do have a call-in number. 571-288. You're on the show. What's up?
Hey, Thomas. What's up, man? I'm mainly just calling to say Merry Christmas, and I thought your show last night was awesome, dude. I watched all of it. Dude,
thank you so much. Boy, we got some people passionate about it.
Dude, I thought it was really good, and like, especially like where you put Lake Anna, I like that too. I tried to like I like how you added the A. I tried to like remove my own biases from it, obviously guiding there, fishing there all the time. And I was like, Lake Anna, it's really tough. Like, it could be A legendary, but it could also be like a B minus, because like it's got them, but it's tough. And that's like if I was trying to remove my own biases, But I thought the list was awesome, man.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it was, once I actually like started to like put all these on a tier list, I was like, oh wow, it's weird that like where things were ranked. I was shocked the Potomac had so much debate, because people really didn't want to put that thing as legendary. It took a lot of arguing to get that thing to legendary status.
Yeah, I think the Potomac is legend, like historically, like it's just got like that historical kind of like allure to it. Like it has so much history that kind of makes it legendary. But like, yeah, you can go to the Potomac and have a terrible day, but you can go to any fishery and have a terrible day. I don't know. I think the Potomac's legendary, honestly, just from like a historical perspective.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree with that. I mean, I don't want to take up your whole Christmas Eve, but is there anything else on the list that you think should be moved?
Where'd you end up with Chesden? Where'd you end up with that one?
Lake Chesden. Where did we put old Chesney? Yeah, where did we put Lake Chesden? I thought, Lake Chesden, we have a B category.
Ooh, see, that's like the one. That's the one I would argue should be at least an A. Just from personal history, I've been there 3 times, and every time it's been excellent. I don't know if I just got lucky and got there on the right days and ran into the right fish, but like Chesden's got them, man, and it's super versatile. Like, I've scoped them, and then I've beat the bank. I've fished a chatterbait on lily pads. Like, Chesden is, in my opinion, an awesome fishery. Very underrated. It doesn't really get a lot of pressure either. I've never seen too much boat traffic as well, but I haven't fished it in the summer.
Interesting. Well, yeah, I'll make that a little adjustment there because you're not the only one that said that place was good. Yeah, that's perfect, dude. Yeah, do you guys have any specials with the guide service? I saw your post with the gift cards and stuff. Anything happening on that end you'd like to promote?
Oh yeah, so like from now until January 3rd, if you get a gift card, it's basically just a gift card that sets you in for a guide trip. You don't have to pick the date when you get the gift card. It just locks up one of our available dates, and then you can pick and choose. And I mean, we're pretty flexible. But we're just trying to give people a chance to lock in our 2024 rates before we adjust. We're not making any crazy adjustments, but just something if someone knows they're going to go on a trip or really would like to go on a trip with myself, Timmy, or Matt, that they'll have the chance. And then other than that, we're fishing the winter series out there and having a good freaking time, dude. They are biting right now, so it's a lot of fun out there.
It's fun looking at that place, like the stock market, and you guys kept saying like it's gonna start hitting soon, and the last couple of weeks,
Yeah.
dude. I mean, again, guys, if you don't know, Tyler and your partner, I think you had what 22 pounds with a almost
Yeah, we
7-pound stud.
Yeah, we 2 weekends ago we won with 22 pounds, and then, but yeah, the week after SB1 we won with 22, and then last Sunday, just a few days ago, we weighed in 22.10, and our big fish was a 7.15, and we had another 6 something to go with it. So the big ones are biting. Early in the series, I was fishing too far ahead of them. Like, I was in the winter mode, and then on the day when they showed up, I was like ready for them. So I wish I had adjusted earlier, but no, from here on out, it's going to be high 20s, mid 20s, probably that wins every single event. There might be one slip up where it's like a 19, 18, but the rest of this series, it's going to take some bags to win.
Yeah, and that's why, again, bringing it full circle, that's why I had to like make an A list too, because Lake Anna, I mean, dude, it's getting so close to doing 30-30s every winter easily. It's crazy.
Dude, it is crazy. Like, the 5-pounders right now are 6-pounders. The 6-pounders are 7-pounders, and the 7s are 8s. They are so fat right now. It is crazy, and there's so many. Like, off of literally one area in the past 2 weeks, I have caught 8 fish over 6.5 pounds on one little area on the lake, and that's one area on the lake, and people are catching them all over. So it's got them, and they're fat right now. This is the biggest they get all year.
Guys, if you haven't, go check out High Pole Guide Services. I will put a link on this re-upload with Tyler's information. If not, guys, just go type in High Pole as well. Go get a book a day with Timmy, SB Fishing, or Tyler himself. Dude, have a blessed Christmas, and thank you so much for calling in.
Dude, you as well, Thomas. Have a great Christmas. I'll talk to you later, man.
Thanks, boss. Bye. All right, guys. The number is 667-307-8583. He's a Lake Anna guide. And he was like, I don't think it's legendary, but it shouldn't be B. And that's why we really did need an A status there, which was my fault. I effed that up. I was just so fairy that, again, I really felt bad to the Bass and Beer guys that I kept them so freaking long. This is kind of almost what I do for a living. I'm perfectly fine rolling for 6 hours if people want to talk fishing. I love it. But we got a lot done in 3 hours with the list. But I think doing this A tier, B, and B minus definitely helps a lot. Again, what I'm so shocked about is when you look at this list of what we consider like dog shit, I really need to figure out a way to freeze this lower damn bar so it stays the hell down there, because it is so freaking annoying that when I move my mouse, it's annoying. Sorry about that, everyone. But what the guys at Bass and Beer Radio, they stated something very interesting to me that I really want to highlight here. I think it was Chad that did, which is we don't have a lot of dog shit fisheries. We complain about the Potomac River and certain places when it's like, oh, it's not fishing very good. But we just made a tier list. And right now we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 5 considered dog shit. And honestly, just like Brandon Huff was saying earlier, Clear Lake is on the rebound, which awesome if that's the case, if it's on the rebound. We could start pulling these out of the dog shit category. So that's a lot of fisheries. And I had some issues with this list about which lake should I actually pull from, because again, you go to the Virginia Department of Wildlife Resources website, there's about 200 to 300 freaking fisheries. It's insane. There we have a lot. And I probably should, like the Murray River is another one that I didn't add. Again, the South Holston River I could have added. Upper Potomac, should we split the Upper Potomac up from sections like from Hancock down and then like Hancock up? Do we do the Shenandoah Basin into like north south? Like, I mean, again, this thing could be 8 hours easily. Lake Norman. I didn't know if I should put Lake Norman in the DMV area. North Carolina has so many lakes that are like you could throw a rock over the Virginia border and hit it. It kind of makes sense that it's a part of this group here, because if you're going to drive to Kerr, you could drive to Lake Hyco. It's right there. And again, the Susquehanna to me has always been like the barrier of the North, because growing up in Winchester, Virginia, Purcellville, places like that, people would drive to the Susquehanna routinely. I mean, it wasn't like a summer vacation trip. It'd be like, hey, this weekend, let's just go up to Susquehanna, which kind of means it's kind of part of the culture here, if that kind of makes sense. So you have to include that in the DMV. So anyway, with all that said, let's get to something that I am interested in, which is, we're going to talk Smalley rivers here, boys and girls. Upper Potomac, the Shenandoah, and we're going to go, where the hell did it go? My brain. And the Upper James. Let's move these two out of the way. There we go. Upper Potomac, Shenandoah River. Let me zoom in on this bad boy. See if we can zoom. There we go. Now you guys can see that a little bit better. Sorry again for the commercials. I really do appreciate this. Stop seeing it. Not interested in this ad, so go away. All right, hopefully you guys can see that okay. Anyway, Upper Potomac, Shenandoah River, and Upper James. If any of you guys are fishing those rivers, could you make a case as to why they should be in the A status or the B status here? Yeah, because I feel like with the Shenandoah, it definitely wasn't a C, but should it be a B? We have to talk about the fish kills, but are the fish kills past? Like the main stem won, the chatterbait ninja himself won with 82 inches, I think, in VKBA, if I'm not mistaken. If the Smalley Chaser people are on here, I think you guys had a tournament that was like over 90 inches. I'm pretty sure the Shenandoah had a 90-inch tournament that was won last year. So it should probably be a little bit higher. Like there are some big ones. Now, I'm going to give you some juice here. I have a contract. It's a verbal agreement, whatever. I'm interviewing all of the biologists from the different regions of Virginia that did their shocking and their data report for all of the major bodies of water and rivers in Virginia. And this is their 2024 report that they debut in 2025. So we're pre-recording episodes now. I did Odenkirk for their portion of the Potomac River and all the creeks, giving up the juice on which creeks are hot. But I just also finished up Halleker's report. And if you guys don't know, Halleker runs the Shenandoah watershed. So he gave me the shock data and the fish data for the North Fork, South Fork, and the main stem. And it's pretty crazy, dude. Like the North Fork has got some monster fish in it. Not as many, but some monsters. And the South Fork is doing extremely well too. But he said all in all, like this is the best we've seen this river in a long time. And there's largemouth up the ass in the South Fork. There's some big largemouth in the South Fork. So I really, but I also feel like with the Shenandoah, it's about where it's come to where it's been. Did I say that right? No, I didn't. Shit. It's about where it was, not where it is now. It's some really fancy ass thing for the criteria. But the point is here, the Shenandoah was probably C or dog shit 8 to 10 years ago. Now we're talking B, maybe an A. If you guys can make me a thing of to why it should be. Big D, you want to come on the show and state your point? Largies are insane in the South Fork, but so hard to catch the bigs. If you want to, you don't even have to be on screen if you don't want to. Call-in number is 667-307-8583. You want to call in about why the Shenandoah should be at the A. Baskeek, what is the criteria for this? You know, that is a damn good point. Let me see if I have the acceptance criteria somewhere. I had it from the last show. Ah, come on, Big D. Dinner's overrated. What are you talking about? I wish, but I'm at dinner. And you're listening to me while at dinner, but that is why I'm here, guys, on this Halloween Christmas Eve, is to keep you guys away from the people that really don't matter, which is family you don't want to deal with. The family that you were dealt at birth, but not the family that you love. That's the reason I am here with my little Santa's little hoe hat. So, Geek, I apparently deleted it. So here's the acceptance criteria was 5 things. We did quantity, quality, accessibility, versatility. Versatility is like, can you catch them a bunch of ways, or is it just using live scope and dinking a minnow? And then there was a 5th one, but I'm having a boomer moment. I forget. I think it was the fun factor or scenery. It was something like that. So example is Geek. Liberty, the Baltimore lakes are extremely good, but you have to basically have your an electric Tesla boat that's like $10,000 a year, and it can only go to those lakes allegedly. I'm exaggerating for emphasis. So it's super. So the fishing is good, but it's a pain in the ass to get access. Hunting Run Reservoir is extremely good, but it's closed from October till March. So that's going to knock it down a bunch of pegs. So that's kind of the criteria for all this. Flagagana Reservoir. That is a bullshit name. That is a not real name. Flangagang Reservoir. Is that real? Or is he just pulling my chain? Holy shit, it's a place. Okay, again, it gets back to what I just said earlier. There is so many places. Long Island Reservoir is 1,143 acre impoundment located in Dickerson County. The reservoir was built to provide flood control, pollution, abandonment fish, wildlife. The projection was the dam was construction in 1964. Interesting. Oh shit, that's a YouTube video. I don't want that. Abort. Well, that doesn't help. Oh, that's an interesting looking place. Okay, so it's very up in the mountains, ain't it? Wait, where the hell is this thing? That thing ain't in Virginia. Oh shit, it is in Virginia. It's like right on the crest of Virginia. Okay. So where is this? Wilkesburg. Okay, so this is 81. That's South Holston. So basically from South Holston, you go northwest, I guess, into Appalachia. So this is on the Kentucky-Virginia border. How many of you guys have actually heard of this fucking thing besides Bass Geek, apparently, who probably lives next to this stupid thing? Oh, look, and there's a Baptist church. I bet they hold rattlesnakes there, too. I mean, that looks cool. Again, this is the problem is like, do I put a place like this on there when no one has heard about it? So how do we have an argument if it's good or not? It looks like a cool ass fishery. I'd say a South Fork. Okay, then we're talking about the, and we're talking right now about the good old, sorry guys, I got to find my call studio to make sure I didn't lose a phone call. All right. Big D TV says, I'd say the South Fork is a high B only because there are giants on there, but to get to them, you got to be able to find them. Lots of quality in the South Fork, especially catch 20-pound bags most of the time of year. And I will also say the main stem is also extremely good as well. Main stem has gotten so much better. And again, I fish the main stem way more than I think a lot of my my Shenandoah smallmouth friends do. We have look up Lorraine Bed Lake. Okay, it looks like a pond. This is literally, I think the town this is called is Ass End of Nowhereville. Belfast Mills. Dude, that is in the middle of freaking nowhere. Holy crap. how is this Virginia and not just part of like Appalachian Nation and the South Holston River? Like so many people told me to put the South Holston River on here. Probably should. They have tournaments out of there. I mean, I bet they have tournaments on Big Slack, and that place is a pisser. So I don't doubt that they have tournaments on there. But again, Trophy Smallmouth Lake. I mean, I don't disagree. But again, it's like it's just so weird. Like for a radio show, if we talk about if I whipped out during a Monday Night Live when we have like 200 people watching, and I say, where do we rank Luray Bed Lake? Everyone will just Google it and be like, I've never fucking heard of this thing. I have no opinion. So it's kind of a weird thing for this tier list because part of it is you need to know something about it to list it. But yeah, if you think this should be added, I can add this bad boy. I can add both of these lakes, and where should this? Well, that's not it. Boom. All right, that thing was just added to the list. I'll probably add it as a B minus because I mean that's the thing is accessibility. If this thing has a beautiful boat ramp, but it's at the ass end of the world up a donkey hill that's 1 mile long, does that make it accessible or not accessible? We never really talked about what is the definition of accessibility. And we could get really like ADHD anal with I'm gonna be staring at that map all day. Sorry, I forget I'm doing a show. We got Lauren Bed is not good. It's electric motor only lake. Now again, so geek, electric motor only is not a bad thing. So example is Occoquan Reservoir. Right now is in the legendary status because it's a 9-9 lake. It's 1,000 acres, but it's kicking out like 40-pound bags. It's insane. It's crazy. So like that's up there. Let's see another electric motor only lake. Western Branch Norfolk we have as a B. That's electric motor. Oh, it's a 9-9. You get my point. Nye Reservoir doesn't have a ramp. It just looks like somebody took a shit, planted some trees around it, and said boat ramp. It's terrible, but I like Nye. No need to add, just throw it out for discussion. It's literally in the middle of nowhere. No, you're good, dude. Like, I'm going to try to do this list probably every year for Christmas, and we'll rank them again for 2025 at the end. Because, again, like Yakigani, like, it wasn't fair to have it on the list because it was basically closed because of the water being so low. So I want to redo these lists again because I'm going to tell you now, next year, I'm pretty sure not all of these fisheries will be up there. One of them will fall to A or lower. Who knows? I mean, the Potomac and Upper Bay could easily, one of these two could drop down to A status easily. Absolutely easy. Jake Harshman. Yeah. Yak Reservoir is amazing. I don't disagree with you. The thing is, it's closed basically right now. And again, this is only on 2024 stats, not legendary status, as in its history the last 50 years, just how it fished last year. But I wanted to bring it up because it is a big reservoir in the area. So I put it to C, but honestly should be off the list since it was technically closed because there's no water in it, if that makes any sense. So yeah, this is how we redid it. Jake, we basically, this is how we're going to surmise it. Is the Juniata is A tier. We have an A, B, B minus, C, and then dog shit. A lot of people are saying Clayton Lake's on the way up there. I don't know about that. We got Geek calling in that says Flanagan should be on the list right now. I've never heard of this place. Geek, if you want to call in and tell me why it should be there, absolutely. I'll give that number again to anyone that want to call in there and make an argument one way or the other about where a reservoir should be. The number is 667-307-8583 if you want to make an argument there. Bass Geek, close to 100,000 followers on YouTube, lives in Appalachia. Or I call it Appalachia. It's basically Southwest Virginia, but it's Appalachia. And yeah, he fishes a lot of these cool little reservoirs there. So I am a kayak guy, dude. If you had not noticed, I've won a bunch of money. Not going to say half of my money on a kayak, which is weird because you have a jet boat now, bro. What are you talking about? Aren't you a traitor to the kayak cause now that you have a jet boat? Though I don't blame you. It's like because I can't get my wife to go kayaking with me, but I have the Ranger and she would love to go out and pop in the Ranger. We pack some food, we eat, we drive around. There's something about a boat. Like this is why if you can afford it, you have two. You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't know. It's so weird because everyone's like, well, would you trade in your bass boat? It's like, nah, it's paid for. I have it. I'm gonna get a new kayak though. I really want to get one of Trey Leach's inflatables. I just need to sell some feet picks so I can have some damn money to give him, not my feet. I'm not giving Trey my feet. Maybe Trey, if you take my feet, let me know, please. And that would be an easy deal. If you would trade that for inflatable. But otherwise, I'm going to figure out ways to get money. And I'm going to stop talking about my feet. Anyway, so right now we're going to add Flagaganiga Reservoir onto the list because Bass Geek says that he's a little bitch boy and he's working and he can't call in to tell me how much he likes this place. Oh my God, we have somebody that calls in, and this is why I need a fifth monitor because I can't see my calls when they come in. 804, you are on the show, Buzz. What's up?
Hey, Thomas, Greg Stinnett from Tiger Crankbaits. How you doing, Bob?
Hey, Greg, how you doing?
I'm fine, brother. Hey, I think one is missing on there on your best lakes. It might not be a good quality, but to catch a bunch of fish, Lake Anna, the hot side.
Ooh, Lake Anna, the hot side. Yeah, and the hardest thing with that was it's kind of not open to the public. And it's like, how do you rank something like that?
Yeah, you got to have a connection to get in there. But if you can, oh my God, dude, it is unbelievable. You can catch 50 or 60 fish like it's nothing.
What's your biggest fish out of there?
I would say probably 5, somewhere around in that area. You don't catch a lot of just huge fish. But, I mean, you can take jerk baits and stuff. And, I mean, like I said, catch 40, 50 fish like it's nothing.
Dude, that's
but
freaking awesome.
Hands down of all of them, I'm gonna have to say Chickahominy River. They just had a tournament there a couple of weeks ago, and it was 27 pounds and something to win it. And they just had another one. It's taking some hellacious weights to even get a check down there now.
Yeah, and that was something I did with that's something I had an issue with this list. I know Jake is probably going to chime in on about this. Is I put the Chickahominy River and the James as separate, even they both, everyone voted they're both legendary fisheries. But how granular do you want to get? Because would Mattawoman be its own creek and stuff? And so I mean, technically, yeah, you're right. Because people literally drive there just to have a tournament in the Chick River. It's so freaking good. So
yeah.
It's definitely.
And I'll tell you another one. It's that they have a lot of tournaments. The Pamunkey.
Oh, I didn't even think about that one. You're right.
Yeah, it's quite a fishery. It's one of those rivers where you look at it. It's kind of like a Chickahominy, where it looks like everywhere you look, you should be able to catch a fish.
Now, if you had to pick one place you could go in Virginia for fun, what would it be?
Chickahominy.
Chickahominy?
Definitely. Yep, Chickahominy River.
There you have it. What do you guys got coming up at Old Tiger Crankbait? If you guys don't know, they're one of our OG sponsors of the show. Are you guys going to be at the Richmond Expo?
Oh, yeah. Richmond, Fredericksburg, Fisherville Expo, Hopewell, and then it's one in Virginia Beach, the Great Bridge Fishing Show. I know that's what we have lined up so far, but there's always a bunch of other stuff comes along. But we'll be seeing you soon.
Yep, I'm going to be seeing you. I think the first time is at Richmond. We are running the social media for the Raleigh Fishing Expo, so we're going down there the weekend before, so that should be fun. But then, yeah, we're going to be there, Richmond, Dale City, and Augusta County as well.
Yes, indeed. All right. Well, y'all have a great Christmas. Give Carly a hug for us.
I will. Thank you so much, boss. You have a blessed Christmas.
All right, buddy.
Bye.
You do the same. Take care.
There you guys have it. Tiger Crankbaits. Let me make sure I can hit the... Yeah, what Santa needs to bring me for Christmas is a new monitor and an inflatable kayak by Osprey, which apparently Jake just says a Christmas miracle, and we'd be good to go. I feel like he wouldn't actually like that. but you have softer hands than me, so maybe it's just different. Do you make eye contact with him while you do this, Jake? We should actually bring Trey in here for this conversation. Make it as awkward as hell. Geek says, I don't hate kayakers. You don't hate kayakers today, but I mean, I'm just saying, like, give it the right time, you might hate kayakers. So here, let me, while I get that up and running, I do have another lake I'm going to be adding to this bad boy real quick. Hit the downloads. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where'd the download go? Today is this, so it should be this one. Perfect. All right, so I am adding Flamanagan Reservoir. So let us add that to B tier. Apparently, this is a reservoir that is absolute B tier. Bass Geek states it, therefore it must be true. Clearly, he's if you guys don't know, I think he like works with the nuclear power company or something like that. But they trap him in a poor little room, like one of those poor little Israeli hostages. So really feel hats off to him and that sad job he has. So bless you, bud. But so yeah, this is what we got then so far. So new thing, we got the tidal Potomac River, Upper Bay, Smith Mountain Lake, tidal James, the Chowan, Susquehanna, of course, the New River, Lake Mooney, Fredericksburg, Occoquan, the Chickahominy River. The New River, why is that above all these? Right now, it's just the size. It's like on the high end. I think you can catch, Susquehanna has the balance of it, which is weird because I think right now, if I'm reading the tea leaves correctly, the Susquehanna has the best volume and it has the best size. The New River probably has the best high end, but it's dog shit on the low end. It just doesn't have the same volume of fish. But the fish there are like dinosaurs. They're Jurassic Park dinosaurs. Now, I had somebody in chat say like, well, what about muskie fishing and all that other stuff? I would literally be here for 12 hours straight because, yeah, like the New River would probably, I mean, the James and the New River would probably be 1 and 2 for muskie fishing, right? I mean, I think everyone loves the upper James because of the guides and stuff on there, like Blue Ridge. But I keep hearing from the guides that think like the New River is the absolute shit when it comes to muskie fishing. So, I mean, yeah, crappie fishing. Aaron Ball was in the chat earlier and he talked about like Kerr Reservoir is great for crappie right now. Absolutely great. Ray Dalton, and we have a caller here I'm going to go to. Ray Dalton, did you delete part 1 of the video? No, I did not. Apparently, I said some kind of word that YouTube didn't like. So I made it private and I downloaded it. I'm going to readjust the audio and I'm going to re-release it tomorrow for Christmas. So, and then part 2, I'll re-release the next day. That sounds weird. Anyway, so yes, no, it's not deleted. I'm going to be re-uploading it as a podcast and YouTube episode so you can listen to it while you're sitting around the Christmas tree dealing with people you may or may not like. Anyway, with that said, let's go to our next caller, 276. You're on the show.
Well, I'm at work, and I just want to say I don't hate kayakers, but I do think they suck. I'm just saying.
Oh my Lance! Oh my God! How's work treating you, boss man?
Oh, that's pretty good, man. Life's going. Like to be on the water, personally.
Yeah, I feel you there.
Not on Flanagan. I don't want to be on Flanagan. I'll be honest with you. The only reason I added that lake is because it's a hard D- to dog shit.
Oh, you put Flanagan as a dog shit lake. Okay, well, let's move that down here. Boom.
I feel like it made the qualifications. I don't know. Sometimes it's really great in the summer, but you know, it's not pumping out a ton of great bags. Even though I did see a couple of 7s caught out of there, largemouth last year.
Well, maybe you can help with South Holston because I have no freaking experience on that place except looking online at how that place is. We have it ranked C, not dog shit, not B minus C. Is that a good place for South Holston?
Man, so I'll give you kind of what the averages are. You know what it takes to win. That is an 18, and I'm talking about rodeos. I'm talking about big. That lake gets pounded. It is that lake. To win on that lake, you better have 20 to 22 pounds year round. Period. A smallmouth. 90% of the time, it's going to be smallmouth. that lake is probably an 80, 85, 20, 15 to 20 ratio of smallmouth. And it's got good numbers in it. I mean, you can go catch, 2 1/4 smallies all day. I mean, all day. Now you got to think about that lake a little bit different. I mean, that lake is a very, very highlands. It's not as highlands as Flanagan is, but it's pretty daggone close. I got a buddy of mine in South Carolina that always said, one of the things he asked me, he's like, do you think about things from like bank to bank, shoreline to shoreline? I said, yeah, but I think about things from top to bottom a lot in the lakes, that I fish. So you've got to be able to fish vertically, very deep vertically this time of year. So I don't know. You take that with what you will. I think for down here in my area, which, there's very small, Flanagan being the biggest, a lot of electric motor only. They're not very good lakes at all. Down here on the Virginia side. So primarily a lot of my fishing is on the Tennessee side. Southwest Virginia, Watauga is an incredible lake. I'd rank it at least above that. But you're talking about Cherokee and Douglas and those lakes. Cherokee is kind of the local. Well, a lot of people fish it because there's a lot of big tournaments fish it, but it's really the joke of the bunch.
Would you say C is too high for South Holston? Would you say it's dog shit?
No. I would say it would be hard for me to rate South Holston just a C. I would give South Holston a B- because around here it pumps out probably more consistently between all the fisheries, which are largemouth and smallmouth, 20-pound bags than any other lake in Northeast Tennessee, Southwest Virginia.
Well, you're also from the area of the country that I can ask you this. Clater Lake. Brandon Huff said, move Clater to C. There was multiple 27-pound bags this spring. I know it gets a bad rap. I think it does. You have to have some local knowledge to catch bigger fish there. Do you think Clater Lake, if you have an experience on it, is dog shit?
What little bit look, the locals that know, and that lake is a lot like Smith Mountain. It's started to come on over the last 10 years. I would probably move it to a C. Now, if our criteria is, hey, can anybody go there and put a 20 bag on? No, no. But I mean, if you can go there and figure it out, then you put together something nice.
Is it a place you would be like, oh, I want to shoot a YouTube video here. This is going to move the numbers.
Well, I'm weird. For me, I always like to go to the lakes that are a grind. It seems like I kind of do best on those lakes. So for me, yeah. I mean, is it going to move the numbers? No. Unless I get lucky enough to catch a 27-pound bag. But I think you could go there and be a pretty good angler and put a 16 to 20. Maybe not right now, unless you're in the know. But
yeah. So it sounds like, guys, this is not based on what chat, this is not a sterling argument to say it's worth moving that bad boy all the way up to C right now. And who knows, if somebody wants to call in or just like make a better remark than just 2 27-pound bags are caught out. Again, like I get that, like if a local can do it, but I'm trying to rank it on like you can just show up and have fun. Like guys like Philpott, enough people voted say Philpott shouldn't be dog shit because you can go there and just catch fish. So we moved it up. But I'm not seeing a cult following for Clater Lake. I think that's it.
Yeah. I agree with Brian. That lake's based on time of year. I agree. But most lakes are. That's one of the reasons why I actually make an argument for South Holston to be a higher lake because, you know, yeah, I mean, it's an ultra clear lake. You're going to fish 15 to 25 feet deep 90% of the time. But, you know, when the smallmouth are on the bed, I mean, I know guys who take their vacation to go to that lake and catch smallmouth on a Texas River. Yeah. So, you know, in May, April, May.
Interesting.
So, you know, that's why I say that lake. And like I said, that lake, I know to you guys up there, but remember, you got to understand, this is predominantly smallmouth. This is a southern lake that is consistently pumping out, you know, 19 to 22 pound bags of smallmouth.
Yeah, and again, like the other thing I give it credit for too, and this is because I have this argument about Lake Anna holding a BFL, and South Holston is almost twice as small as Lake Anna, and it has one every year without a problem. Not saying it's the most comfortable thing in the world, so it's it still has that pressure, but still pumps them out, which is fascinating to me.
Yes, it is the BFLs, which will have 100. We'll say 115 boats for the ones that run here, but even more than that, the Morristown Marine, which is a 235 boat average tournament, hits it every single year during this fall.
Really?
Yeah. That lake is completely, unless I'm fishing tournaments, I do not. Thank God I have a swing shift job where I can fish in the middle of the week sometimes.
All right. So before I let you go, getting back to your just very mentally engaging career right now that you're in, is there anything on the list that you think should be moved?
You know, I don't know that much about the lakes up north, you know, Virginia, northern Virginia, as we call it down here. You know,
what about Hyco and Mayo on the North Carolina border?
I've never fished those lakes. I've fished Kerr. I mean,
I'm sorry.
Bugs Island, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, well, you know, it wasn't too bad when I fished it years ago. It was still a largemouth fishery for the most part. But, you know, Smith Mountain is another one. You know, I mean, that's as far, you know, north. See, I can tell by how you say Appalachia. You guys are northern.
Mm-hmm.
It's Appalachia. I tell you that all the time. It's not.
Well, it's the point of Appalachia you're in. We're in the Pennsylvania, Maryland Appalachia, not the Tennessee, Kentucky Appalachia. Appalachia.
Yeah. Yes, Appalachia. That's how you say it.
Oh,
probably.
Okay. Well, the last thing before I'll let you go here, I don't take up all your time. Should the South Holston River be its own thing?
Whew, man, yes, it should absolutely be its own thing.
Okay.
You know, above and below. Above, there's some great smallmouth fishing. You're not, you know, once you cross and come out the other side of on the Tennessee side, oh my God, it's probably the best kept secret in smallmouth fishing in the world. Right now, if you have a jet boat or a kayak, you can go catch 100 smallmouth a day.
Wow.
And I don't mean dink. I mean, it's one of the most incredible. I know people who were hardcore tournament anglers and they fish that and they go sell their bass boat, buy a river boat, and they never leave it again. I mean, it's incredible.
Wow.
And not to mention the trout fishing. Not to mention the trout fishing on that river. So it's really one of the most incredible smallmouth fisheries, especially in the winter, that you'll ever fish.
Well, there you guys go. So the South Fork of the Holston River, we're going to add to the list then. Good to know there. What is the geek have going on in his world? What is coming up next for you on this Christmas Eve?
You know, we're going to put a short out today. Normally we drop a video, but you know, everybody's busy, family. I think, you know, the short play videos get a little more views, and you know, got to put something out, keep the YouTube algorithm happy. Other than that, I think me and Brian have hammered out that we're going to be at, we kind of hammered this out yesterday, that we're going to be on Saturdays, the Saturday part of the show. We're going to be at the Richmond show. We're going to be at the Raleigh show. And then, of course, I'll be in Knoxville. I'm not sure there yet if I'll be all 4 days or 3 days, 2 days, what I'll be down there. But yeah, me and Brian's going to show up and pester you.
Ooh, that'll be fun. If you guys don't know, I got all the confirmation today. So I should be in all the literature there, but I am running the Facebook, Instagram for Richmond and Raleigh. So when we live stream, it'll go straight to their Facebook and stuff as well as ours. So we'll be bringing coverage of all the local baits and doodads. So it should be a lot of fun for you guys, and it'll be crazy, crazy busy for me. So, dude, have a
yeah, I like it. I've never been to the Richmond show, so I'm excited about that one.
Very intimate. Very intimate. It's a smaller show compared to Raleigh, allegedly, and definitely smaller than Richmond and the Susquehanna show. But it's a good crowd. A lot of money just coming down from DC and stuff. So yeah, I think you'll be hopefully pleasantly surprised with it.
Yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait to hit the Richmond. I've been to the Raleigh show probably 4 or 5 times. It's always fun. And, you know, I always tell people, if you have not made it to the East Tennessee show, the only show that I can think of that can hold a candle, and I have been to 2 Red Crests, one in Alabama and one in Charlotte, and they cannot touch the East Tennessee Fishing Show.
Really?
Nothing even near it. Dude, it blows them away. The only show that I think is bigger is the Classic.
Mm.
And I've been to, and that's the only 2 classics I've been to are both in Knoxville and both in South Carolina. So those of course are like the 4 biggest.
Dude, that's insane.
So that's the only thing I had to judge by.
Now, do you have a booth, or what are you doing?
I don't. One of the companies that I work with, and the insurance company that set up the BIA, I'm going to be kind of bouncing between a couple of booths there. Like I said, I don't have anything hammered down on that show as far as how many days I'm going to be down there. But you know, Knox Vegas, man, I love Knox Vegas. That's my town. So
That's awesome. Well, yeah, you sound like a busy bee. I think, guys, go check it out. Bass Geek on YouTube. He's also one of the many hosts that help keep Brian's podcast alive. I love you, Brian, over at Basscast Radio. And he's got 2 podcasts now. He's got one that uploads on Monday and then Friday. So Basscast Radio is the one I'm also a part of. And then, of course, just go check out Basscast. Awesome stuff. So yeah, sir, I'll let you get back to work, and yeah, I'll be talking to you real soon.
all right, see you, man.
Bye, boss. There you guys have it. All right, I'm going to open up the phone lines again. We'll take a couple more calls here. 667-307-8583. So I have a couple more I'm going to be adding here. The next one on the list, this is one I've been wanting to add for a while. I completely forgot to do it. This has nothing to do also with what Brian was on there. Stonewall Jackson Lake. It's one of the bigger lakes actually in West Virginia. Let's see, where is it? There we got Steve Chaconis here. Did you mention West Virginia? West Virginia is weird because there's a bunch. There are a couple of lakes there, but there's not as many as compared to Virginia, Pennsylvania stuff. Stonewall Jackson was the only one that I really thought would be a big one that I should add to the list, being it is one of the OG lakes that had Major League Fishing go there for a show. I'm gonna put it in the B- category. Let's go B+. I'll go B+ category. Steve, do you think that's right? Putting that thing right there in the B category? I could probably go down lower. Let's go B-. Let's go B-. That makes sense. So right now, this is the list that we got. We have Tidal Potomac, legendary. Upper Bay, legendary. Smith Mountain Lake, legendary. Tidal James, legendary. The Chowan River, North Carolina, is legendary. We have the Susquehanna River, the New River, Lake Mooney, Occoquan Reservoir, the Chickahominy River. Then we also have in the A category, we have the Juniata, the Tidal Rappahannock, Lake Anna, Lake Cheston. The B category, we have Hyco Lake. It's a power generated lake on the North Carolina-Virginia border. Lake Gaston, Loch Raven in Maryland, Roanoke Rapids, Upper Potomac River, Shenandoah River, Upper James River, the Western Branch Norfolk River, Chickahominy Reservoir, which is above the river portion. Then we got the B- tier, which would be South Holston Lake, Conowingo Reservoir, Lake Moomaw, down 81, Lake Frederick, Mayo Lake. We have Liberty Reservoir, Burnt Mills in Norfolk. We have Lake Coon in Norfolk, Hunting Run in Fredericksburg, Virginia. Then we have Stonewall Jackson Lake, Deep Creek Lake in Maryland, the York River. Then in the C category, we have Bugs Island, Philpott Lake, Pocomoke, the Upper Rappahannock River, Pretty Boy Reservoir, Nye River, Raystown, and then Youghiogheny, even though it's closed basically because there's no water in it. And then we have the dog shit category. So far, Clater Lake, Big Slack, Burke Lake, the Eastern Shore, Leesville Lake, and then Flanagan. So far is what we have for the dog shit category. What do you guys think? Do you think this list is accurate? Now, you think it's a little bit better? Brian says, Briary Creek and Sandy River. I need to add those two, but it's again like with the Flanagan stuff. How into the weeds do I want to get? Because I probably should add the South Fork of the Holston River to this category. But then again, if we go way into the weeds of these super small, tiny ponds, can we have a good, healthy conversation about this? I don't know. I don't know. We got about 10 more minutes here, guys, before I have to get ready to go for my Christmas shenanigans for the evening, and I get some presents wrapped. Hopefully, I was able to help you guys deck your halls and help out with your Christmas festivities. Just, giving you guys some entertainment, something to listen to on the drive or as you get ready to celebrate Christmas. I'm thinking I'm going to move. I need somebody in the comment section right now to give me a reason why I should move the Upper Potomac River or the Shenandoah to A, if at all. But should I move it to A? Biggest thing with the B- category I have now is I still think Pretty Boy should be at C unless somebody tells me otherwise it should be moved. I think that is not a bad place for it. Mayo Lake, I'm probably going to put, There we go. Conowingo C. How about that? Conowingo is now at C. You need to put, let's see, we got Nye here. Nye, B Cal says, need to put Nye into D because of the ramp. All right, so let's put Nye. Where the hell is Nye? Well, Nye's C. All right, so we'll put Nye. All right, we'll put Nye actually down all the way. We'll do this for you guys. I'll put it in the dog shit category. Not because the fishing is good at Nye, but the ramp is just, there is no ramp. It's basically mud. So it'll be in the dog shit category. Not because of the fishing, but just because the boat ramp is just trash. Because we do need to rank this stuff on the amenities too. Like, okay, that will hurt it as well. Pocomoke is going to stay there because of Paul Bass and Beer Radio. They want that there. They're going to keep it there. I like how we have a Maryland reservoir in B minus, and then C. Though I think they said Lock Raven can't be A tier because of how much red tape there is. So let's just do this. Let's go B plus, and then let's just go B and then C. All right, so we'll go A, B plus, B, C, dog shit. That's better. That makes more sense. So Upper Potomac, the Shenandoah, and the James. I'm gonna put. God, should the Shenandoah or should the I just feel like the Shenandoah or the Upper Potomac should be A tier. But right now, I mean, let me Google. Actually, you know what I could do? Let's just do this. Let me pull up the tournament standings from the Christmas Bash, because this will help, because I have all of the stats for that tournament. So give me 5 seconds, guys. So right now, I broke up with the Patreon members only fishing tournament I'm running right now. We have another one actually going to be starting in January, by the way. More of the deets on that later. I kept track of everything. And so what I have right now. All righty. The newest updated. The Maryland smallmouth big fish is 20.8 inches as of 2 days ago. I haven't updated it since then. It's 20.8 inches. The Susquehanna has 21.3, and then Virginia only has a 19-incher. So the Shenandoah River only has a 19-inch smallmouth. The Upper Potomac has a 20.8-inch smallmouth. The Susquehanna is a 21.3-inch smallmouth. The Upper Potomac, Cliff Bennett, huge shout out, one of our big time Patreon supporters who does a lot on our Patreon Facebook group and Patreon page. He won big fish in our Halloween Bash tournament against the Susquehanna, the Shenandoah, all the smallmouth rivers. He won big fish on the Upper Potomac. So the Upper Potomac has won a tournament with big fish and is basically in second place right now with the biggest smallmouth. So with that said, based just on the stats, it's kicking out so much size right now, and there's not a lot of 20-inch smallmouth being caught on the Shenandoah River. Again, just going based on the stats that I'm seeing right now, I am going to put the Upper Potomac River into the A tier category. Shenandoah is B plus. Upper James right now is B plus, because no one has really told me otherwise why that should be there or not. So that's just what we're going to be doing then. And yeah, so this is our stats right now as we're getting here. So this is what we have going from dog shit all the way up to legendary. And then we can kind of, I think that's it, unless you guys have something else you want to talk about. Again, the call-in number, if you guys are just joining in, if you want to tell me I'm full of shit and this list is incorrect, this is part 2 of our fishing destination show. Call-in number is 667-307-8583. We got a couple minutes here. I'll take one more phone call. In the dog shit category, we have Clater Lake, Big Slack, Maryland, Burke Lake, Virginia, Eastern Shore, Leesville Lake, Virginia, Flanagan Reservoir in Virginia, the Nye River Reservoir. Nye is dog shit because the ramp is absolutely terrible. It's atrocious. It's just mud. In the C category, we have Bugs Island, Philpott Lake, Pocomoke, Maryland, Upper Rappahannock River, Pretty Boy Reservoir, Raystown Reservoir, PA, the Yakagani Lake, and the Conowingo Reservoir. The Yakagani is like in the C category right now just because it's closed. So we can't, the boat ramps are great. The fishing is good, but it is closed. Technically, it shouldn't just be on here at all because it is closed right now. In the B category, we have South Holston. We had Bass Geek come on the show to talk to us about South Holston. Lake Moomaw in Virginia. Then we have Lake Frederick, Virginia. Apparently people really love that thing. It's got a cult following, even though maybe it's just they're abused and so they keep going back to it like it's a broken relationship, but who knows. We have Burnt Mills, Norfolk. We have Liberty Reservoir. We have Lake Coon in Norfolk. We have Hunting Run in Fredericksburg, Virginia. We have Stone Wall Jackson Lake in West Virginia. We have Deep Creek Lake, Maryland, York River, and Mayo Lake, North Carolina. That is the B category right now. That is the B category. And then we have the Hyco Lake in the B plus category, which is a power generated lake. So it has warm water in the wintertime. Lake Gaston, Loch Raven in Maryland, one of the Baltimore lakes. We have Roanoke Rapids Lake. We have the Shenandoah River, Upper James River, Western Branch Norfolk, the Chickahominy Reservoir. In the A category, we have the Juniata. We have the tidal Rappahannock River. We have Lake Anna, Lake Chesden, and the Upper Potomac River, since it's dishing out so many smallmouth right now. If we're going to be talking about the issues of access will definitely keep you from being A tier. So all of these fisheries are basically open. You can just go drop a boat in. That's fine. It's open year round. If the lake is closed for a portion of the year, it really can't get into A or legendary status. It just can't. If there's weird rules around boats and stuff, it can't be A status. If it's a pain in the ass to get a boat in there, it'll hurt it. I could have somebody make an argument to move up all the reservoirs up a little bit, but it's hard for me to have a Baltimore reservoir in A category when you have to have a specialty boat to get in there and the licensing and stuff. That to me is just a big deal breaker of you can't get in to fish it. So, you know, I just think that should be a reason why it should. That's why the Nye is dog shit, because the ramp is atrocious. It's just absolutely terrible. And that's habitual. It's not like the lake is shut down. It's habitual. And so Yakagani gets an honorary C until the fishing gets a little bit better there. I really like this list. If you want, we could move Liberty up, but I'd need somebody to actually give me a reason for that, why it should be moved up there at all. But anyway, yeah, that's what we have list-wise. I have 15 minutes to get ready to go get ready for our Christmas Eve festivities. I would like to thank all of you right now for being here today on Christmas Eve with me. Fishing is absolutely fun. I adore that I get to do this as a kind of a part-time gig. Maybe one day it'll become my full-time gig. Have a wonderful Christmas Eve. Part 1 will be uploaded tomorrow. Part 2 will be uploaded later in the week as well. So part 1 will be loaded up on the 26th. Part 2 will be loaded up on the 27th of December. So part 1 and 2, just like that. You guys can enjoy that. Everyone have a blessed Christmas with your family. I love all of you. Thank you so much for making this a part of your life. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time on Fishing the DMV. Bye.
You're listening to Fishing the DMV with your hosts, Thomas Ahrens and Jared